It's a vast, vast improvement over here where, again, as I mentioned, it's more of a format that we're most all familiar with, looking at Outlook-like calendars. But and you can look at it in a month view, a week view, a day view. You'll notice things can be color-coded based on, how you set these up. Here is the one where we were looking at that memory leak. That's the change request we were just looking at. Again, hover over it. It gives you a little bit of a summary. You can double-click on it, and it'll even give you more detail. Or quite honestly, you can right-mouse click on that and actually open the underlying change request, which we already have open, so no use doing that now. In looking at my change calendar, I also have the ability right within the calendar to make alterations. I don't necessarily, now that I'm looking at this, I say, wow, look at all the things going on here on the 13th. This is not a critical one right here. I'm going to set it, I'm going to move that down to another time and place, and it will make the necessary adjustments, move it from one spot to another spot, update the forms as soon as we refresh the view here. So you have the ability to do that type of thing. As I mentioned, you can look at this in different types of views that you may have there. Oh, I did that. If you wanted to look at it more singularly there, or even going through and looking at another view. So again, a vast, vast improvement they've made to what's going on there in the particular calendar. If we go back to our form, that kind of gives you an idea of what's looming there. Obviously, from a change request, I can create relationships to other CIs. If I know this change really should have some other some other problems or whatever linked to it, I have that ability. Plus, I have the ability to spawn off other requests right from within the change form. And this is true regardless of which console you happen to be in there. So let's go and create one from scratch, and let me try to give you a little sense of what the workflow is as you go through there. We'll just leave that one as not being updated there. And we'll go in and say we'd like to create a new change request. So it brings up the blank form there. I'm obviously already logged in. So exactly what you were looking at before, but now instead of going in and identifying the service and doing the priorities and all of that, I'm going to show you what we recommend as an ITO good practice, is that's try to use templates wherever you can possibly do that. And another new feature they've added in version 8.1 is instead of having to go out and look up all of the templates and then pick from a drop-down box, I can actually just start typing here, and it will come in and basically kind of show me what those are. I kind of look at it, say, yep, that's what we're going to do here. I select that. Now, the benefit of trying to do these from a template are several-fold, and let's talk about that. First off, there's then a consistency of how we're summarizing that event. There's automation as far as the change reason, the change class that we're doing, and it automatically then within the template, if you've configured it this way, it can automatically set your impact, your urgency, and your risk level, so you don't need to go through the questionnaire. Because if it's a template, you probably already sat down as a group and defined what are the way we want to classify this type of change, and so it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you, as well as it goes on and does what your categorization should be for that types of change. It predefines what are the different tasks that we're going to do, and in this case there are 4 of them that are sequenced again. Doesn't prevent me from now going in, even though I used a template, I can still go add some other tasks. So it's not that there can never be any variation once you use a template. No, maybe the template does 90% of what you know we've got to do, and now I'm just going to add a couple of additional things over here. Now, what the template doesn't do, obviously, is figure out the date that we need to do that. So let's go out and say we're going to begin this. We'll say Friday at the first part of the day, and just for the sake of the argument, I'll pick that we're going to end it over here, make it a weekend type of job. So once I do that, some other things can become available to me here. So let me just go down and save this and kind of get the issues going here. And that's fine on that product categorization. So one of the things I can do now that I'm in here is once you put in your dates and times, this is where you would typically go out and come over here and look at your calendar. We've kind of already done that at that particular point. So at this point, what we're ready to do is think about, all right, we know what we're going to do. We know why we're doing it. We've identified the tasks and, how we're going to assign those out there. So at this point, we're probably ready to get this thing more in a phase of let's do the planning that we need to do here for this particular one. So I'm just going to move that to our next stage here, and we're ready to go. It doesn't like this categorization for some reason here. Sorry about that. That just means the template is not matching what was there. So let me just see if I can fix this real quick. Sorry about that. And you would go through and do that again as you go over here on your calendar. You would see if you were over top of one of your other things. This is where you could obviously go in, do collision detection, do impact analysis by bringing up the graphical picture of the CMDB to see what's going on, and be able to look at that as you go through there. So let me pull that one down, and we'll go back to where we were here. So we picked a couple of dates. We picked a couple of times there. I'm going to go to this categorization page and fix what it was barking at. And then we should be able to then go right back to our console. So it's those types of things. It's going to tell you if there are conflicts. It's going to give you that much better calendar view as you go through there, and you're going to get a much better insight. Then you can take these a series of changes that you've got here at your console. You can print those out, go in for your CAB review meeting. You can export these to Excel if you had a lot of them and you wanted to present it, in that particular format. You have a number of out-of-the-box reports for change management that are going to be available to you. And the other thing is that now with our new web-based reporting, this is where I said I want to create a custom change, infrastructure change request. For those of you who haven't seen this, we really simplified it where I pick change. It brings up all of the fields within the database that related to change. I pick the ones I want. I can create my report. I can schedule when I need to have that report run. The other big thing that we do is that now that in 8.1 we give you the ability to actually do your approvals via mail. So as you can see here, an approval where I did that change request, put it into the approval mode, an email notification went out that somebody needed to approve this, and right from within the HTML formatted email, they can approve it, they can reject it. If there's somebody who likes to be in Approval Central, which is a standard remedy feature that most of you are familiar with, you can go in and actually do the approval right from within there. And let's see, I think I've got Mary doing these. So I'm going to log in as Mary into Approval Central, and they could do it from Approval Central. Obviously, most people, I think, going forward are going to probably do it via the email. That's something that had been requested for a number of sessions here, and they finally did get that in there. So this is Approval Central, shows all of the approvals that are pending. It gives you a summary up here. I could go in, click on any one of these, and actually do the approval or the rejection right from there. Or, as I mentioned, you could do it right from the inbox that are out there. So at a nutshell, that's kind of what you get, great reporting and all. The one other thing that I will mention, since most of you are probably on the new bundled pricing and so forth, is you also get a number of reports that are going to be out there for you in the dashboards and the analytics module. So if I pop over and look at that, so I'm in BSM Dashboards and Analytics, there are a number of pre-configured change management dashboards already done for you. Here I've got 3 or 4 highlighted. There are actually, I hadn't looked at last count, there are probably about 10 or 12 of these that are predefined by BMC to give you these great dashboard views. Of course, even some of these you can vary the context of what you're doing there. Here we're looking at all priorities. If you wanted to change this to only do a certain one, you can actually do some runtime definitions. But the fact that these are pre-built for you and right here made available is a great thing. And of course, that's for all the modules. Obviously, today I only highlighted the change management module there. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what's new within Remedy here in version 8.1 for change management.